Welcome back to War Thunder and welcome to the Duck Talks number 35. And today's topic, or the major topic, will be about the drama at behalf of wargaming and how they screwed up their dealing process with Sir Foch. Now, I guess at this time, most of you will be fully aware of what happened, but just to give you a short rundown of what happened, the thing was this: Wargaming actually went for a test on a new premium tank, as far as I understand it, the Chrysler K, and that thing seemed to be overpowered to Sir Foch. Now, that is not the first time that Wargaming actually pulls in a very strong premium tank, but you know, it's open for discussion. Apparently everybody does have a different opinion. And you know, the story overall went huge. At the end of the day, Sir Foch was stripped of his community contributor title and was also threatened by a copyright strike at the hands of Wargaming. And well, that created a big uproar. Now, for more details, you can watch Mingles with Jingles, you can watch other content creators and other people doing a video on this. But at the end of the day, what does this have to do with War Thunder? Well, first of all, we had kind of, at the first glance, a similar experience like a year ago with Fly Daily. Now, things have considerably changed since then, and I just wanted to give you a little bit of my opinion, of course, but also a bit of a quick update. Now, first of all, back to the story. That copyright strike thread went actually pretty viral. Now, the shitstorm is big at the headquarters of Wargaming, and I have to say, rightfully so. Because, you know, to threaten somebody with a copyright strike, it can deal a lot of damage, especially in the long run, especially with the second or third, especially when your livelihood depends on that. Now, for me, it's just a hobby, and I'm a very small YouTuber, and I have to deal with Gaijin Entertainment. And I rarely put up a YouTube video on a product on wargaming, and that is just World of Warships. And you know, World of Warships has its flaws, but from time to time it's a nice game to play, especially since I ended my payment back practically. You know, I have the premium ships that I think are awesome, namely the Tirpitz, the Scharnhorst, and I guess Isitsuchi, you know, one of the Japanese battleships. I think I have a few more premiums, but I can't quite remember as they are lower tier. So, at the end of the day, I mainly focus on War Thunder, and I have to say this. Now, aside from the story, I think I have to teach people a little bit how to behave on the internet. Yeah, me. Don't get me wrong, this is not meant as an insult, but I just want to clarify a few things. First of all, Sir Foch's video was very insulting. It just consisted of fuck you wargaming, and practically nothing else for 1 minute 40. And at this stage, you know, you can totally understand that they stripped him of his community contributor title, or the benefits that he gets from having this title. You know, you play by different rules if you are a community contributor or a content creator, or you know, however you want to call it, when you kind of represent wargaming slash gaijin in this respect, because you know, there is not a strict border when it comes to that. You play by different rules. However, there is the thing that I think Gaijin actually treated me always very nicely. All the people that I ever had contact with, that they had anything to do with Gaijin, or you know, were relatively close to people that work at Gaijin, they always treated me nice because I was not insulting them. Very simple rules, right? Right? Yeah, I know it's the internet. The more hateful you comment, the cooler you are, obviously. But, you know, to just get this into perspective, a lot of people try to push it. a lot of people just look how far that they can go before something happens, and then they scream loud that they are mistreated and so on. Now, I do not try to defend here neither Gaijin, nor Sir Fosh, nor Wargaming, or everybody. But at the end of the day, it also came back to Gaijin, and it kind of forced Gaijin CEO to make a statement on Reddit. And this kind of surprised me a little bit. Now I will give you the link in the video description, of course, but I want to read it out. So here we go. Publication license for YouTuber. Reminder. CEO Anton Yudintsev. Some people claim that any critics or showcasing bugs in War Thunder is violating of our agreement and can cause copyright strike. That is nowhere near truth. For almost 2 years we even have made publicly available legal agreement for everybody, including YouTubers, which is legally allowing people to do whatever they want to do, including any kinds of critics, and monetize that content, so any YouTuber is now guarded and can feel safe. Here it is. And then you have the link to, obviously, the partnership YouTube offer text. With very reasonable 4 limitations. War Thunder materials can be used only for content that: first, not pretend is official, i.e. produced or approved by Gaijin. Second, not violates laws and or spread liberal lies. Third, not publicly encourages to violate gamers' EULA or publicly shows how to violate EULA. Fourth, not advertise other software using game materials and logos. All of these requirements are very simple and straightforward and basically is common sense. If someone is not violating these simple requirements, that any copyright strike can be easily disputed, because it is our legally binding agreement. Before that, for 3 years of open beta test, there was no any public agreement at all, and in order to safely monetize the content, one had to get written permission from Gaijin. During closed beta, when every user had to sign electronic NDA, requirements were indeed different, and showcasing bug was prohibited. That was 5 years ago, and was tied to closed beta stage of the game and NDA attached to it, and also typical for closed beta tests. I wish any and all YouTubers good luck in creating and monetizing anything about War Thunder, and all critics is very helpful. Welcome. Update. Fixed awful typo. Missed not. Thanks to, and then again a link in the, for Reddit. So end of kind of the statement. And the CEO went further than that. He actually took part in the discussion, and you know, I have nothing to say badly about this, how he acted in the comment section practically on Reddit. Now, first of all, I'm not a regular Reddit user, as I mentioned a few times, but this sounds reasonable. Now, I don't know how often he participates in something like this, but the last time he did something like this was with Fly Daily a year ago, and that was not such a good outcome, was it? So things changed. Also, the game went out of closed beta, or open beta rather, and now is in open release. I don't know quite for sure how things are on the side of Wargaming's World of Tanks. Now, I have played World of Tanks myself for around about 8,000 games, so I roughly know how the game works, and while a few updates I have missed, so to speak, I still went on it for, you know, the April Fool's event, and practically the gameplay experience hasn't changed. So there's that. At the end of the day, I have to say that it was such a big shitstorm that it actually reached Jingles, and Jingles was concerned that it is kind of the same thing with Gaijin. Then Wargaming tried to fix it, and they nearly did it, and then it was at the hands of Wargaming EU that they actually promised that nothing bad would happen. And you know, again, you can watch Jingles 2 videos on that, Mingles with Jingles and not Mingles with Jingles. That's quite literally the title of the video. So in this he clarifies what happens. I cannot really go into too long about this, but at the end of the day, there is a chain of events that happened. First of all, both games, World of Tanks and also War Thunder, are a few years old right now, including the closed beta and open beta stages of both games. Now it seems like World of Tanks is older, and for that they should have learned their lesson by now. And it always seemed like Gaijin cannot really deal with the community as good as Wargaming can do it. Letting the salty part of the community away, you always have, you know, very nice people on both the community managing side and also the community side. Obviously, there are always very salty, stupid elements in both sides if, you know, you find the right person to rant with. This I spare you that story, but the thing is this: a chain of events happened. First of all, both games added new vehicles into already established tech trees. Those new vehicles were either underpowered, so nobody took interest into them, or they were on point, so, you know, there was not too much talking about them, and or they felt like being really, really powerful. And I can tell you from Wargaming, there were such tanks like the Patriot that comes to my mind. While I don't play the game anymore, I love to watch videos from certain YouTubers, the Mighty Jingles and Quickie Baby, maybe even Sir Fosh, if it comes to that. No, not Sir Fosh, Sir Serkan, I'm sorry. And, you know, I still get how the game evolves and so on. And at this stage, I'm quite happy that I left that game, because it just, for me personally, this is a very personal opinion, it goes down, and it's a pay-to-win aspect that is now no longer kind of manageable for me as a non-premium player. And then there is XVM and so on, which is pure poison for the gameplay experience. If you use it, you know that you will lose, and if you don't have it, you feel in a massive disadvantage. So that's kind of the essence of it. And all those points are so much better within War Thunder's gameplay experience. There are so many problems within War Thunder as well, yes, and let us not forget the past of Gaijin's kind of misbehavior. But what was in the past, well, it is right now here not so important anymore, is it? Or is it? Well, it depends. So let me know your opinion. Obviously, I'm not the first one to cover this kind of topic, talk about this problem, and wants to know your opinion. But let me have some feedback. But again, it is that they tried to implement, or they're still trying to implement, a premium tank. That's the important part. That seems to be awfully strong for its tier, and has a weak gun, and you still can load premium ammo to make up for it, but, you know, then it's expensive in terms of either gold or in-game credits, so you have to play it in more, and it's boring and annoying and whatever. At the end of the day, it's nothing but power creep, and we have power creep for a very long time in War Thunder as well. Here is the difference. War Thunder still has a very, very simple solution for the problem, which Wargaming does not have. Wargaming is bound and doomed to use a 10-tier system. Technically, they could, you know, do more tiers, but then, you know, the people having tier 10s or tier 9s feel a little bit betrayed, and then what's the status of the premium vehicle? So it's too much work. For War Thunder, it's just a change of numbers to re-establish a new gaming meta, and without, you know, readjusting the vehicles themselves, they then can make the compression go away, so to speak, and then they could add vehicles more easily, so to speak. At least that's my opinion. But I'm not the first one to talk about this, and this has been a solution since the battle rating system was introduced. What was it? 4 years right now? I don't remember. So there's that. So to put this all in perspective, now I think it will not be the last time that Wargaming and or Gaijin will screw up when dealing with the community. It might be the gaming or the business policy, it might be not, and just a single member of that company went wild. I don't know. I just don't know. But at the end of the day, the key rule is, if you just don't wildly insult people or insult the company, you still can work together with them. And the people you deal with are not necessarily responsible for the company's actions, because I don't have contact to Wargaming CEO. I'd like to have at some point to bring up solutions, but at the end of the day, if he listens, if Anton listens, is a different question. Because remember, at the end of the day, compared to other YouTube channels out there, I'm very small. I don't have the impact, and just because there are some YouTubers that made themselves big by clickbaiting and working together with other YouTubers and therefore becoming big without putting too much knowledge into their gameplay or what they show in their videos. That's not meant as an insult, but I'm somebody that goes into the game mechanics, the key aspects of the game. I do my tank reviews, I did a lot of guides, I might redo some guides, and this is a never-ending story. I try to educate the community, and I think I have to tell you at this point that obviously, as most of you will know, I'm part of Gaijin's partnership program, and I profit a lot from that. Since I'm part of that, my investment into War Thunder went nearly down to zero, and well, so they now no longer get any money from me. But it's at the same time, I can request Golden Eagles, and I can request premium vehicles or even event vehicles, which saves me an awful amount of time and money. And in return, I said it for myself. I will do tank reviews, first impressions, or awesome gameplay, and mention the vehicles and what I think about this. Now, when I request these vehicles, in return, there is nothing like you have to make it look good. You have to bring up a battle with at least 5 kills. You have to do this and that. Nothing like that was ever mentioned in an official email from Gaijin towards me. And that is the important part. Whatever I talk about, I can talk about. And the worst thing that can happen is that I fall out of the program. But I still will keep my account. I still will keep everything that I own at the moment, as far as I know. But I don't want to fall out of this program. And I also want to have a good relationship with Gaijin. Yes, there are so many points that you can criticize with them. But you won't get far with insulting, with calling somebody names. Now, I like to rant a lot. I'm getting very, let's say, creative with my way of insulting people in when they are talking to me personally, if they like to be insulted, of course. Yes, such people exist. But jokes aside, it wasn't a joke, was it? If you do a YouTube video, it is something that I consider to be semi-official. It is my statement, and you always have the possibility to re-edit the video and to make it new if you have sound problems or you said something wrong. Now, I personally do not really often do that. I most of the videos that I make are in one take, and that's it. Because the more takes that I do, the more and more stuff I forget to mention again. And this is why a lot of my videos sound so unprofessional. Yes, I could edit something, I could speak faster, clearer English, but at the end of the day, I don't have time to edit so much for nearly daily content. By the way, because of the recent events that happened, I had to kind of redo this entire Duck Talks, and I focused purely on this topic here. Now it's nearly 20 minutes in, and I still have not talked about the actual thing that I wanted to talk about. Because Jingles now released a video yesterday, I guess, that I just noticed today. And I just watched it, and that prevented me from releasing the Duck Talks, because he actually withdraw himself from the Wargaming community contributor thing, and now he mentioned that he might give War Thunder another go. And that actually is now a very, very interesting thought, because it might bring back one of the greatest YouTubers in terms of subscriber numbers that we had in a long time. And I think that might be good. He is both an entertainer and also somebody that teaches people. Remember how he became so big. He made tank reviews, he went on the dev server of World of Tanks. He was one of the first people to cover War Thunder with a decent subscriber numbers. He brought thousands, if not tens of thousands of people towards Gaijins product. And at the end of the day, he personally seemed to have never been mistreated, but he likes to protect his YouTube channel. And you know, with nearly 500,000 people being there, you have to understand that, because he makes part of his livelihood or living out of that. But for more information, watch his video. He actually was the one that made me play War Thunder, so this is why this is of interest towards me. And furthermore, he featured once a game of my 82 Sky Raider like 2.5 years ago, and I'm very proud of this. So I kind of have a connection to him. He might not really know him, but he featured one of my replays, and I'm very, very proud of this still today. So at the end of the day, you have to understand this. I kind of like the idea of Jingles getting back to War Thunder, to cover it, to bring more people to the game, and to raise the active player numbers, and so on, yada yada yada. But at the end of the day, it had to be Wargaming royally screwing up to make him think to make a shortcut on its kind of War Thunder, World of Tanks and World of Warships cover. And you know, at the end of the day, if now he turns around to cover War Thunder again, it's not because he came around it by himself, but he was kind of forced to diverse even more, even back to content that he actually stopped covering. And that is like playing the second fiddle, or what you want to call it, die zweite Geige spielen in German. So you're a second choice in this respect. So what actually will happen has to be seen if Jingles covers War Thunder at all. But the game has significantly changed since he left it. And, well, that is an interesting thought. What is the opinion of a person that has left to play War Thunder for, what is it, 1.5, 2 years? Oh, 1.5 years, where he actually stopped actively playing War Thunder. Then he showed a few videos, I guess, and then that's it. So yeah, and then for that guy coming back, having access to everything, because I guess if he asks for a partnership program, you know, Gaijin will, I guess, accept it. You know, that's my best guess. But at the end of the day, two things happened. It was initiated by power creep, by kind of pay to win aspect. Now the pay to win aspect is obviously open for discussion, and everybody has a different opinion. That, of course, let me know in the comment section what you think about the Chrysler K, because from what I have seen, the armor is damn good and without weak spots. Then also the community at the behalf of the players of World of Tanks actually attacked Quickie Baby, another YouTuber that I watch. Now he is, for all intents and purposes, a professional. I like his content, and many ideas that I use in my tank reviews are inspired by his tank reviews. Of course, I make my own style, but he will never come back to War Thunder for other reasons. Now, again, they attacked him because he actually released the Chrysler K review the same day Sir Foch did it. The guy that everything began with, and you have to play the tank. You have to then record it and put it together and make the tank review and all, and that takes time. I can tell you that. And then to upload it takes time. Thumbnail, description, and then the release. But they released it at nearly the same time. And of course Quickie Baby at that time didn't know that anything happened, of course, because it was about to happen. But still, the community accused him of, kind of not reacting to this. So his response video was very, very interesting, especially at the end. So, yeah, it's a wild story. I never have thought that wargaming would go down to that poor level of community management. Yeah, so so much about that. Now, for my part, I'm not really affected by that. The War Thunder community might indirectly profit from that, but it should have been, if we profit as War Thunder players from that by having more players to play with or play against with, shorter queue times, yada yada yada, it should have been done by players convincing them by the quality of the game and the company behind that, not by another company screwing up and just forcing them away from the one game, and then they search for an alternative or for an alternative that they have not used in a long time. So that's just a side note from my side. So at the end of the day, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please don't forget to make a comment in the comment section about this topic and, obviously implementing your opinion on it. I am really interested in that. Sorry for not answering questions from last Doc Talks, but there were not too many. A few side notes before we end the video. First of all, I hope you enjoyed the background footage of the ME262. Those were fantastic games, they were fun to play, but they made it not in a video because I already did 2 videos about the ME262A2A, and those were the final games for the spading of it. Then my monitor died on me a few days ago, so it was a relay that just capsized, so to speak, and it's malfunctioning hard. So I have a backup monitor, and it's the same size, but just HD and not 4K. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if you realize that by the quality. And yeah, I think that's it. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies and on the battlefields of War Thunder.